Guys, we got a freaking good one today. We're putting an external oil cooler on this '05 GMC Sierra Duramax, my tow pig. Now this will work for any years, Duramax 2000 to present. Obviously your line routing is going to be a little bit different, but the sandwich plate and fittings, cooler will all be the same. I'll put a link to this cooler here and the sandwich plate about here. It's a Fluidyne. I believe it's a 3618 series, 12AN, fittings to M22 by 1.5, threaded plugs here, and then your drain plug is going to be a 1/2 inch NPT. We're also going to do a transmission service while we're here, Transcend 668. To dive a little bit more into this cooler, there's not a lot about these on the internet. Seems like people are either afraid to do them or they don't have success because they're not done correctly. So I'm going to run through everything we got here and then we'll jump right into it. I'm still waiting on 2 fittings from Amazon to show up today, so I'll probably go and do the transmission service before all this comes in. I need one more M22 1.5 to 12AN fitting for the cooler. It's a Sierra, so the bottom valence has a real nice, I guess you'd call it tunnel for wind. And then I've got some sheet aluminum that was behind the garage for about 2 years that made this decent little funnel out of, and she slides right over the cooler there, and then it'll wrap around the lip here, so all the air running through this section right there will be funneled directly through this cooler. And will allow it to actually cool the oil efficiently and effectively. Now this sandwich plate, lines, fittings, and all that I got from British American Transfer in Pensacola, Florida. It's all Mocal stuff. It's got a thermostat in the sandwich plate, 195 degrees. We got some steel braided line and then 12AN fittings. And then I'll show you where this is going to mount up underneath and how I did it. I just went to the hardware store and grabbed some plate steel, primed it, painted it, and it's going to go on the back side of the cooler, and it's going to hold all this together, and it mounts to the front cross support. There's already 2 threaded holes with 2 bolts in it, I think from a skid plate that was removed before I got the truck. So this should, 1, keep our oil temps down, and 2, it's going to pull the heat out of our cooling system. Because I know once oil gets to about 240, 250, the coolant can't really keep up with keeping the oil cool. So 1, our Duramax is going to run a lot cooler with heavy loads, and also extend our oil life of our Rotella T6, which is already pretty good. We should be able to get 10 to 12,000 miles out of this oil now. If we're doing severe towing, hauling, we'll probably want to change it around 7,500 to 8. But with our oil staying a consistent temperature and also adding 2 more quarts of oil to the system, we should be super good, ready to rock and roll. This cooler holds 1.3 quarts, and then I did the math on the lines and fittings and everything, and it's like another 0.6 of a quart here. So I just got an extra gallon. That way I've got enough for this oil change and then the next oil change. Mobile 1 filter, nothing special there. Transmission, we just got the spin-off filter. It's never been opened up before, so I'm going to go ahead and do the internal filter as well. Allison says not to do them, but I mean 320 something thousand on the clock now. It's time to get her done. And then 3 gallons of Transcend 668. A lot of people run Dextron 6 in these, but it will ruin the seals in your Allison transmission, 07 and prior. So you want to make sure it's twice as expensive, but keeps you from leaking. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into getting this transmission fluid out. It's a 12 millimeter drain plug, and then the pan bolts, I believe, are 13 or 1/2 inch. And then once Amazon shows up, we get to rocking and rolling on this. I'm not going to show the transmission service because that's not what this video is centered around today. We're going to jump right on this oil cooler and see if it actually lowers our temperatures. If y'all have any questions on this system, just drop it down below in the comments. I'm pretty good about responding to everybody. Please like and subscribe if this is cool content. I'm trying to grow my channel, but let's dive right into it. So I forgot to mention, y'all, you do want to run 12 AN lines on this cooler setup. Don't cheap out and do the 10 AN. It's just under the maximum gallon per minute threshold that these Duramaxes throw out with the high volume, lower pressure oiling system. So definitely run your 12 AN lines. It's kind of tight for me under here doing this on the ground. You can see here, we got our sandwich plate and then our fitting, which is female to male. Oil filter screws on there. And then this sandwiches your plate up against where your filter would normally seal. And then your lines run forward. Oil filters back in. Let's go topside. All right, we got our lines run, and then our two holes here and here that they mount to. I just ran them, you can see, behind the coolant hose, and then up and over the, you can't see back there, but it goes over the engine mount and then straight into the sandwich plate. And then here we've got our upside down view. These are our bolts that mount to the cross member. This is our drain plug, inlet outlet. I do not believe it matters which one since they're offset corner to corner. She's all buttoned up other than the lower valence that I have to put on. I'm going to go ahead and fill the oil up, check for leaks on these two AN fittings. I don't want to torque them too much, but she's all on there, good to go. Alright, it's been about 2 weeks, no leaks so far. I want to get right into the numbers on this oil cooler. Man, look how badass it looks down here. But I'm going to get right into the numbers, temperature numbers, oil pressure numbers. Make this video short and sweet for y'all. So if you guys want to do this, don't forget to drop a comment or question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But we went from about 44 to 46 psi with my oil temperature about 225 to 230, just cruising. You know, average temperature day, wasn't too crazy hot or anything. And the last 2 weeks it's been, you know, in the mid 90s here in Florida, and I'm pulling out like a 210 degree oil temp to 205. So that thermostat is definitely working. And this is oil pan temperature, the oil in the pan itself. And then my pressure jumped way up. I'm looking at 58 to 60 psi. This is cruising at 65 miles an hour, about 2,000 RPM. So that tells me my oil was just getting scorched, man. I haven't put the 8,000 pound toy hauler I have behind this thing yet, but I was going crazy low on my oil pressure while towing that thing 2 hours. I was getting down to like 34 psi, so I know my oil temps are probably sky high. Now that could be an issue with my oil cooler on the block itself. I could upgrade to an L5P oil cooler, but that will only cool your oil to your coolant temperature. So when you get that L5P oil cooler, it's just expanding the capacity to keep your oil at that temperature. So I wanted to go the route of the external oil cooler because it's about the same price, give or take $100, and it's pulling all that heat out of the motor. My coolant temperatures haven't hit a lick over 185 these 2 weeks I've been driving it. And before, you know, in town on the highway cruising, it'd creep up to 200, sometimes hit 210, and I would barely see 185, and it's stuck at 185 this entire time. So super stoked about that. And something else to mention about this oil cooler is that it sits lower than where your oil filter is. So you don't have to worry about dry starts or, you know, 20 seconds for this thing to build oil pressure once it's running every time you cycle the key. Sorry, we got some crazy bugs out here, y'all. So there's already going to be oil in this whole system every time you start. It doesn't drain back to the pan. So one, you can accurately check your oil level in your pan, no problems. And two, again, you know, you benefit from not having to suffer from low oil pressure for the first 20 seconds of startup. I also went ahead and threw a power steering cooler in this truck too. They mount over here on the right hand side of the grill, Chevrolet, Sierra, you know, they're all the same mounting wise, and they go to your core support behind your transmission cooler. 10 millimeter bolt. I had one sitting in the garage, and it's for an 8.1 liter 01 to 07 generation, and I just had to do a slight modification to the bends where it bends behind the intercooler. I kind of had to pull the bend out a little bit and bend it about an inch past where it was originally from the factory, and then I just cut the return line off my power steering box. Well, actually all I had to do was pull the return line off of my power steering pump reservoir that comes from the steering box, hook that right into one side of the cooler, and then just run a 1.5 to 2 foot hose from the cooler up to the reservoir, which is nice. Alright y'all, but I think that just about wraps up this video. We got the Duramax looking badass over here. The more coolers the better. I think I'm going to do a transmission cooler next, but I've never had any issues even pulling that 8,000 pound toy hauler we got. And I used to have a skid steer dump trailer. You know, I'd pull about 25,000 pounds with that, no issues, for short distances, you know, in town and stuff. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, drop it down below this video. I'll get to them. Smash that like button. I'd appreciate the subscribe if you want to. Y'all stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next one.